Hello everyone and welcome. This is Christine with Pattercrafts, and today I'm here with a design team project for Scrapping for Less. I'll be making a slimline card. I'll be using this marquee die from Whimsy Stamps, and I'll be using the pattern paper pad and some ephemera from Scrapping for Less. This is a Sweet Christmas. It is not available, but this is a great idea. If you want to use some of your pattern paper, you can either use ephemera that you may already have on hand, or you could definitely use images from your stamps. So this die cuts out the frame. I've used this green cardstock that matches the green in the pattern paper. It does cut out those window pieces that you can use on cards either by themselves, or if you cut another frame, you could use different colors. There is some stitching that is around it. So the first thing I'm going to do is put my frame on my card base. Now my card base is cut a little too long. So I'm going to put this on my card how I want it to be on the sides and the bottom, and then I'll trim a little bit off of that top. So I'll go ahead and put that down, taking off any excess tape that kind of is outside of those edges there. Just rub that right off. And I'll trim that little piece off in just a little bit. So now I'm going to look at the pattern paper. So I'm going to put a different piece of pattern in each one of those windows. I really liked this one here with all the fun treats, and I love the gingerbread. I thought I was going to add this like candy cane and bow one, but it didn't quite, I don't know. The other two patterns are a little bit more brown as far as their background, so I decided to grab another one that seemed to match it just a little bit better. So I'm going to take these pieces, because I'm only going to be trimming the pattern paper to basically fit that little window. I don't want to really waste the pattern paper, so I'm going to just go ahead and put that through, or you can just kind of add some tick marks to each side to just make sure I am cutting just what I need for the little window pieces. Now, when I put this together, you do need to put the pattern that you want face down on the die, clearly, because it's going to cut that piece. When I first got this die, it didn't even dawn on me to pay attention to that when I was adhering the pattern paper, and ended up cutting the back sides, which they're not that they were bad, they just weren't how I planned them. So right now I'm just kind of figuring out how I want them to lay on my card, and then I'm going to go ahead and flip them over. Now I do end up having to cut these out a second time because I did not pay attention to how the die was laid down, because the windows are not the same. So you see here I've got them in backwards because the card base was the other way around. So I did have to trim them out a second time, so just be aware of that. If you have a die like that, you need to be a little careful how you're trimming them, especially when your pattern paper is directional. So I'm just kind of showing you here how I cut them out the first time, and they're not really going to fit these pieces. So I had the other half of the pattern paper, so I just trimmed them out again, and I'll put those other ones aside. They will fit another similar card, just not this particular one, because even if I flipped it over, then my card would be opening the wrong direction. I am using liquid glue to adhere these, so I have a couple of seconds to maneuver them if I need to into place. Also removing any washi tape, because I did add some to hold them all into place while I ran it through my die cutting machine. You just have to be careful when you're pulling the washi off, because sometimes it can rip the paper. It came off pretty easy on this paper. I've definitely done this project before where I did rip it, so you just want to be aware of that if you use washi tape to hold it into place. So now I need to cut this little piece off. So I'm bringing in this trimmer, because this trimmer, when you line it up to the end, that's exactly where the blade will cut. So it's really easy for me to gauge where I'm exactly cutting. And once this part's done, we are ready to add some embellishments. So I do know I want to use the Merry Christmas sentiment. I think I'm going to put it right here and pop that up on some foam tape. So I'm just going to take some other pieces and I am going to be adding a lot of ephemera to this card. They're so fun. So right now I'm just kind of placing them all over. And then I will adhere them to the card. This ephemera pack, unfortunately, is not available, but if you did pick it up before they sold out, there are 3 pieces to each of each design. And there's a lot of different designs. I really want to put the candy cane up there, but it didn't quite seem big enough. So we're going to grab one of the cupcakes. I'm just kind of deciding which cupcake. I do decide to go with that first one because the red on the bottom of that other cupcake was a little too close to that cup of, I'm going to assume, cocoa. So we're going to go with the cupcake that has the tan bottom. So I'm just going to go ahead now and grab some foam tape. We're going to pop up the sentiment on some foam tape, and then we're kind of going to be going 3 pieces popped up and 3 pieces directly onto the card. So I'm going to end up popping the cup down at the bottom on foam tape, as well as the gingerbread man and the cupcake. And then we'll add these other ones with some regular liquid glue. And then once we are done adhering the little pieces all on, we now need to make it sparkle. So I am going to grab my stickles. I've really been into stickles lately. I thought this was the color diamond, but it's actually Stardust. So this is the Stardust stickles, really pretty, adds glitter without any dimension. So if you're looking for something with dimension, you definitely could use like the Nouveau glitter drops. I definitely use a lot of Nouveau glitter drops. I'm just really loving the sparkle from the stickles lately, and I like that there isn't any dimension. So lastly, I'm going to grab my Spectrum Noir glitter brush because I want to add some sparkle to the Merry Christmas sentiment piece and onto the gumdrop. So the gumdrop needed to be completely covered because gumdrops generally have sugar all over them, so they should be a little sparkly. And then definitely to the Merry Christmas sign, because why not? Those 2 pieces would be, I think, too much for the stickles, and it would cover the stuff underneath it. But anyway, thank you so very much for joining me today. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you would like to see more and you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. But until next time, everyone, I hope you have a great day. Thank you. Bye.